Welcome to the Shaping Portsmouth podcast. Shaping Portsmouth is a collaboration of key Portsmouth businesses, transforming Portsmouth together.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Shaping Portsmouth podcast. Now, one of the things I really love about this podcast is the opportunity to meet the team and to learn a little bit about them. So today I'm really looking forward to introducing our new COO to those who haven't had an opportunity to meet him. Today I'm chatting with CP.
Well, and if you haven't had a chance to meet me yet, why were you not at the conference?
Oh, yes. Everyone should know.
Everybody, yeah.
Well, it is a joy to be chatting to you, CP. You've been in the role a little while now.
Yeah, 6 weeks or so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd let you settle in, let you kind of get your head around everything, all the wonderful things that happen at Shaping. And I'm really interested, actually. What is it that was what drew you to this role?
I mean, I'd worked with Shaping Portsmouth, so around the network and the family that is Shaping Portsmouth for 2.5 years since Dave came into post, actually. Dave first approached us at Portsmouth Pride after the conference where he took over from Steph and wanted to work with us on Portsmouth Pride. So I'd always worked around Shaping Portsmouth and knew a little bit about what they did and their role in the city. Mm-hmm. I see it as a really key organisation within the kind of players within the city that are across the entire city. Lots of people have their niches, lots of people have their specific areas, but Shaping, like Portsmouth City Council and like a few other organisations, like the Hive, sits across the entire kind of city ecosystem. Mm-hmm. So when they created this new role of Chief Operating Officer, I was at the point in my career where I was looking at a next step after being a head of development, head of corporate partnerships in local, national and international charities, to kind of take on an organisation and see how I could benefit it with all of my experience on developing not-for-profit organisations, both from a income generation point, but then more broadly organisational development as well. So it kind of ticked everything all at once.
Yeah, what a great place to be, to really put all of the experience that you've had to this point to some good use.
Yeah.
I wonder, has there been anything that surprised you about the role or about Shaping Portsmouth since you've joined?
I think the thing that people probably don't understand about Shaping Portsmouth, or they don't see unless you really get into everything, is just how much everybody is delivering. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a very small staff team. Like, the actual head count is not huge. The pool of people resource is massive. You know, there's tons of volunteers out there, and volunteers that are coming from our businesses and community organisations, our partners and patrons, but also volunteers that actually don't come from any of those but want to run the programmes. But the small staff team are reaching over and above to deliver all of the projects and programmes. So I think probably what surprised me is just how much is being delivered across the Shaping portfolio.
Yeah. And we chatted about this ahead of the podcast, but there's a question, isn't there, that's often asked, and it's been asked to me, and I know it's been asked to you. Do you want to share that question with everyone?
I was the other day at kind of a business dinner, a black tie event. I get this question all the time because people know me from other things that I do around the city. So when I'm having these conversations, people, I think, feel they can be quite open and honest, and they go, I don't really know what Shaping Portsmouth does. And I get that so frequently, especially then when people are asking about what my new job is. And I say, I'm Chief Operating Officer of Shaping Portsmouth. Then the next thing they naturally have to say is, what does Shaping Portsmouth do if they don't know about what the organisation is at all? And even those that do know the organisation, and I think it's probably a valid question that comes from our patrons and partners and our stakeholders as well of, I don't know what everything Shaping Portsmouth does. It's like, yeah, you probably don't. People don't know everything that Portsmouth Pride does. Yeah. People don't know everything that Spark Community Space does or everything that Pompey in the Community does. I think what we've got to do, our challenge as an organisation, is seeing if we can distill everything that we do into the elevator pitch.
Yes.
How do we describe Shaping Portsmouth? And not just how we describe it, how do the 86 businesses that we partner with describe us to other organisations? Yes. How do all the community organisations describe Shaping Portsmouth when they're talking about our work? That's a real key piece for us.
It's a long elevator ride at the moment, isn't it? Because they're, like you say, And that's kind of like a blessing and a curse, isn't it? So many good things are happening and the team is small and so committed to the doing that it doesn't always give the space to kind of like zoom out and to really share like the key purpose. Can I be as bold to ask you what your elevator pitch is for Shaping?
I've definitely not worked out the elevator pitch yet, but what I kind of have worked out, and I think, Dave, that I work really closely with, and I have kind of bounced this off of each other a little bit. So it's not me developing these in isolation. But when people say, I'm paying £5,000 a year at the moment, that's how much our patrons pay in every year. Some people will ask, what do I get back for that? Because they're looking at it as a single transaction, one transactional piece. And it's not that. We're not a membership organisation. We're not a lobbying body, and we're not a charity. What we are is all three of those things. So the money is split into those three areas. Roughly a third of the money gets you the membership benefit, the access to a tangible list of membership benefits that you can't have access to without being a member. Specific events, the training, the resources, the support, everything that you get as a direct result of being a member. There's the lobbying, the influencing work, which, yes, theoretically happens whether people are paying in or not. We're doing that for the entire city ecosystem. That's Dave and our board members going outside of the city and making sure that people in central government and now people in, the upcoming devolved authority know that Portsmouth is the best place to invest, live, learn, work, etc., etc., etc. Yes, that's going to happen whether people are paying in or not, but we know that it happens best if everybody is paying in and supporting the system.
And collaborating and feeling part of that journey.
Exactly. And then the third piece is the charity piece, is the true side of social value that people know and understand quite easily. The S that sits within ESG, the social side of social value. That is businesses.
And what is ESG for those that don't know?
So ESG, the kind of new, I'm going to say new in quote marks, new name for CSR. So corporate social responsibility is now environmental social governance. Everything in that world. The S of ESG, so the social value, that's companies recognising that £1,700 or so, which is roughly a third of £5,000, doesn't go very far as a single organisation donating that amount of money to make a project happen or to a charity. But actually 80-odd businesses all pooling that money together through Shaping Portsmouth delivers some enormous social value pieces, and that's what we then highlight through the impact report. So that needs turning into an elevator pitch, but that's roughly the three functions that Shaping provides for all of the members, the partners, the patrons.
Well, it's really great to have you share that with our CP, and I look forward to that work evolving around, how do we condense that and how do we make that really clear to everybody so that they can be really proud to be Shaping, because I know we have so many brilliant partners and members. I know that you've probably been out and about meeting some of them. What has struck you, or what have you noticed most about those partners and members who choose to be part of our Shaping community?
I think it's how much they actually want to get involved in everything. We've just spoken about people are paying into Shaping Portsmouth because they feel they get, those big three key functions. But actually so many of them want to do so much more. They want to become volunteer programme leads. So, our 13 or so programmes are all run by volunteer programme leads, mostly from our partners and our patrons. That really surprises me, actually, because I think in an organisation that wasn't as well supported as Shaping Portsmouth, you wouldn't have that. You would expect entirely that you're paying in and then something is just delivered to you. But no, actually, Shaping is much more of a community that exists around the city.
People are willing to give their time, aren't they, to kind of make these programmes what they are. And you only have to look at programmes like Shaped by Solent. And I know that there's going to probably be a call for more mentors shortly because that programme has only grown, hasn't it? And, I was part of that programme last year, and just working with everyone that volunteered to be a mentor, and that feeling that we got, and like that enthusiasm and passion to be part of that programme, I think it kind of speaks volumes, really. It's that human connection and those experiences that people are looking for, not just a logo on a website to say that you're part of something.
Exactly. You're not just joining this membership organisation and then getting access to some online training resources and a networking event once a year. You're becoming part of an organisation that's doing some real, genuine, tangible, meaningful good for the city.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking about all of your experience that you're kind of bringing to this role. I wonder, what kind of a leader are you, and kind of like, where's that come from?
I really love developing people.
Okay.
That's my favourite part about
I got that vibe.
being in leadership roles. All teams can be high-performing, ambitious, well-connected, driving strong culture without even knowing it. They do just need sometimes a different support system, and they need a different style of management sometimes, and they need additional resource ultimately. So that's, I think, my management style, my leadership style. I think also within Shaping Portsmouth, nobody can be a leader without also being a doer. There's far too many people in leadership, unfortunately, that are all about, and I mean that as in across the, people that talk about leadership and
Yes.
that
Not just related to the city.
podcasts.
Yes.
No,
Yeah, sure.
not at all about the city. I think actually we've got some amazing leaders in the city, but some people do see leadership as this sit and make decisions or, point and tell somebody else to do. But no, Shaping Portsmouth's not like that. And I don't think the city of Portsmouth is like that either.
Grafters.
Yeah, we're much more about just getting things done. And that's what comes through from my experience in other organisations. I chair another charity within the city, and we have a team of 50 volunteers. We have a budget of about £300,000 a year, and all of our trustees are involved in doing.
Yes.
They are not just sat in a office somewhere meeting 4 times a year. Like, that happens in other charities, and that's great. That works for them, but not in Portsmouth.
No, I hear you on that. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the other things that you get up to in the city? I know you have lots of passions, lots of hats. So tell us a bit about those.
Yeah, so I chair the Portsmouth Pride Trust, which is the charity in the city that represents the 12,000 or so LGBTQ plus people that live, learn, work in the city. I think we used to say live, work, study, visit. Anyway,
yeah,
this is the problem now. Shaping and pride, like some of the values across organisations,
a bit of a crossover,
do feel similar. But that's, I think, because Shaping and Pride and everywhere else, you only employ and get people involved that have that value alignment.
Yeah, sure.
So it's natural. So I've been involved volunteering there for 5 years, 6 years now. I joined during COVID, helped with corporate partnerships because that was what I was doing in my day job. Gradually joined the board of trustees, led all of the UK Pride work, and now I chair the board. I also present a radio show on Express FM, which is called Express Spotlight. So that's all about the local community theatre, mostly musical theatre, all across the city. And that means I'm involved in the Spotlight Awards as well, which are taking place next week, next Monday, down at the Theatre Royal.
Okay.
That is Monday, the 8th of June.
Okay, excellent.
And that's all about championing our local community theatre scene that we have in Portsmouth. I also play with Battle of Portsmouth, which is the red, white and black samba drummers that you see places.
I love that. Just those drums, like that band is amazing. It must be a huge amount of joy that comes from that.
Yeah, it's brilliant fun. It was one of the things that I started doing to really kind of look after some of my own well-being and have a thing that I was doing that was just for me. It's very social. We get together 2.5 hours a week, put earplugs in, don't talk to each other and just hit drums.
Yeah. But no phones, no screens,
Precisely.
It must be so mindful because you have to really focus and concentrate
and there's
on what you're
something,
doing.
I know with the work that you do around well-being as well, there's definitely something about the rhythms and the frequencies and the vibrations.
The vibrations, definitely.
Because you're connected to it. It's attached to your body. So, you feel that vibration.
Wow.
But Battler Portsmouth is just one of the Battler bands that exists around the world. So we're all part of the same group, a bit like a franchise model, but not quite. So it all started with one guy in Brazil. He brought the music to France. It spread from France across the world. So it also means we get to go and travel and kind of play with other bands all around the world as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Do I do anything else? What else do I do?
Any other hats that you haven't mentioned? I mean, I don't know if you have time for anything else, CP. Is there any kind of Portsmouth Pride news that you want to share, or anything coming up that's important to note?
Well, Portsmouth Pride, of course, is this week. It's this Saturday down on Southsea Common. As always, the main thing that we want to get across to anybody listening about Portsmouth Pride, anytime we talk about it, is that Portsmouth Pride is relatively unique within the Pride world in that we are completely unfenced and completely free. You do not need a ticket. You don't need to pay. No bag searches. You know, Portsmouth Pride is on Southsea Common all day, and you can be as far away from the stage or as close to it for exactly the same cost because it's completely free. It means that we moved beyond the point of just doing the event for the LGBT community. This is actually now a celebration of the LGBTQ plus community where we invite the city to come and be part of it as well. We can only do that because of the generosity of the businesses that support us. Our corporate partners donate a huge amount of money as well as their time, their resources. They loan us things, they give us their staff, they join our boards, all that sort of stuff.
Such a great example of like people working together and collaborating, like a true expression of collaboration and what the city is so great at.
And it's where some of the, great partners are not unfamiliar names to the Shaping Portsmouth world. Yeah. Many of them are patron businesses because they believe in the power of kind of collective good for groups that can be supported by organisations like Portsmouth Pride, like Shaping Portsmouth, like many of the other charities and not-for-profits in the city.
Is there anything that you're particularly looking forward to seeing this year?
Oh, you know what? The parade is one of the first things that I started doing with Portsmouth Pride. Okay. I was volunteering year round, and everybody more or less gets what we call a main day role, so something to do on the day. And it was actually me and Tally, and Tally recently got recognised for her 10 years of volunteering with Portsmouth Pride with a Portsmouth Civic Award. We sat there for the first Pride that we were doing coming back out of COVID and went, okay, well, we lost some volunteers, people move away and whatnot during COVID. So we sat there and went, well, there's two things that still need doing. Somebody needs to organise the parade and somebody needs to organise the stalls. And we kind of looked at each other and went, are you that bothered about either? No. You? No, not really. Okay. Right, well, you do stalls and I'll do parade. And this is my 5th year running the parade and I absolutely love it.
Yes.
It connects us to, the 50 plus years of Pride marches being about a collective movement for the community. 2 years ago, it was one of the anniversaries of Stonewall, the Stonewall riots, and I had Stonewall was a riot tattooed on my chest as that reminder, and it's because of doing the parade, running that. Again, it's completely open. Anybody can come down and take part in it. There's no floats, there's no sectioned off areas. Sure. Whether you're an MP or whether you're a 14-year-old with your school group or whether you're in the local scouts or the NHS or you're just a member of the community interested in coming down and marching it, you march shoulder to shoulder.
Everyone's welcome.
Yeah. And we're on a completely different route this year. So we start down in Old Portsmouth and we've got loads of our business partners coming down to march with us. People like the Portsmouth Theatres and the team from Gunwharf Keys and Biscoe Solicitors all coming down. So really looking forward to that. That's the exciting bit for me.
Yeah. Well, it sounds amazing. I'm sure it is going to be such a wonderful day. I wonder just, looking ahead to the year, I know when you first join a team and you're in a role, there's a lot to kind of get your head around. There's a lot that you probably want to do. Like, where are you starting? What are your plans for this year?
Well, one of the first things we did actually, and it's already done now, is we revamped the Shaping Portsmouth offices, didn't we?
And it is so amazing to have that fresh vibe in the office.
As people know, the team has been expanding over the past few months. Me coming in for a start. We've had more support in our administration, and we are very excited to have a new education pillar lead joining us very, very soon, and hopefully a new community pillar lead as well in the coming months. So we needed more space. We needed to refresh the offices anyway. We needed to do some health and safety bits. So that's all done because I really think that the environment matters so much for how much people can kind of work collaboratively, make sure people can actually be in an environment where they can thrive. So that was an immediate kind of operational priority. There's some other big things that I'm responsible for. So things like our conference 2027.
Yes. I know I've seen some few meetings happening.
Absolutely.
Making some plans already.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's it. Dave's run 2 conferences or 3 conferences. So it needs that. It needs a bit of a freshness. So
Yes.
I'm coming in and we'll tweak some things on the conference, and we'll hopefully make it so that you look at things and go, what's the better if? Where's that added sprinkle? Where's the MSG that we can just add to that meal just to make it that little bit more flavourful?
Yeah. I mean, and the conference, it was my first conference this year, and it was great. It was so great. It's such a celebration of shaping and of the community. So I'm really interested. If you're turning it up from this year, then it's going to be even more special.
Yeah. So that's really exciting. But more than that, actually, we're looking at some further developments for the organisation, some new income streams, some new funding that means we'll be working in some new areas or intensifying how we work in some priority areas. So there's lots going on in the background.
Yes.
In that sense, there's also some big pieces that I'm trying to look at, like we discussed earlier, about the story of Shaping Portsmouth and the brand Shaping Portsmouth. And I don't mean the logos. I mean the how we describe ourselves, how other people describe us back to us.
Yeah.
Really doing that piece of work. So there's definitely a few kind of added value pieces that I want to add, but I also recognise that I'm coming into a team that's already delivering 13 or so incredible programmes, delivering £750,000 of social value for the city on a smaller team and smaller resources. So I'm actually excited to see then what happens when we grow the team, grow the resources, how much we can grow the impact and how much we can then say back to partners, yes, you gave us £5,000 from your patronship, and this is what we've delivered without asking you for any more money.
Yeah. Exciting. I'm really excited to see how Shaping evolves, really. I wonder, we're 100 years of the city this year. There's been lots of celebrations, and it's been amazing to see kind of the city connect and come to life over this centenary. What would you like to celebrate most about Portsmouth?
Well, of course, the Shaping Portsmouth Conference 2026 was one of the first big events for the centenary. Of course, there was the New Year's Day event down at Southsea Castle, but then Shaping Conference in mid-January. But all of the incredible Portsmouth 100 branding that's now being recycled around the city. It's all moving around, which is really, really interesting. I think one of the things that we should be highlighting during the Portsmouth 100, and I know it's happening through some other partners, is, I suppose, how multicultural, how diverse Portsmouth is because of how transient we've been as a city. Lots of students, lots of people in the military, lots of people in the supply chain, lots of the cruise workers. I myself not from Portsmouth originally. Lots of our team at Shaping Portsmouth not from Portsmouth originally. Lots of the other people we work with across the city, like Portsmouth Creates, Gemma, not from Portsmouth originally, but people find something unique about what makes Portsmouth special to them, why they want to make here home, and not just why they want to make here home, why they then want to work to develop this city. It's not just about saying, it's a nice place to live, and I'm glad that somebody else has done all the great work around
they get
regeneration.
stuck in.
No, we want to do it as well. And something needs to be looked at about what that is, what that special thing is that Portsmouth does that makes people want to do that.
Yeah. And like you say, to drive it forward and to be part of making it better, even better. Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah, maybe there needs to be some case studies around these people and why and what that is.
Yeah.
I love that. We always end. We're going to come to the end, CP. It's been so good to chat to you and kind of, just introduce you to anyone who's been living under a rock that might not have crossed your path with all of your different roles and hats that you've been wearing in the city. We always end with the same question. Where is your favourite place in Portsmouth? Any hot tips for us? Any places you like to visit, you like to eat, activities?
I don't remember what I said last time, actually. Last time I was on the podcast, I think we were talking about getting cake.
Okay, yeah, cake recommendations welcome.
I'm sure
here.
that's what Dave and I spoke about last time I was on the podcast. You know what? One of my favourite places in the city is the Queen's Hotel.
Okay,
I
lovely.
adore the Queen's. I only live around the corner, so I always joke that it's my local.
Nice.
But I've never stayed there. Why would I? I live around the corner. And actually, how many places can you be in the city and say you live around the corner from a hotel and it's actually one of your favourite places to go? The amount of charities that they support with black tie events and galas, and more than that, support through the year is incredible, which means we get to go there quite frequently for a do.
Okay,
and I love
nice.
that I just leave and walk home.
Lovely.
And it takes like 30 seconds to walk home. But just how welcoming of a space it is as well. Their bar is incredible in an evening for a cocktail. It's a great meeting space in the day to go and grab a coffee as well, and you can use the lobby or the bar. Sundays during the summer, they've got all of the live music outside. Winter, they put the lodge up. You know, they do so much.
The food's
excellent. Incredible.
The service is great.
The team are lovely.
Yeah.
And they're then invested in the rest of the city as well. And there's some other hotels in the city that are doing the same. But the Queen's, to me, is just one of those places that, always feels like you can go in there whatever the occasion. And they're doing so much. So I love the Queen's Hotel.
Okay, good shout out for the Queen. You're so right. And it's making me think, maybe I need to visit for a cocktail or a meeting or
both at the same time.
All at the same time. Yeah, that sounds like a good thing to do. It's been lovely, CP. Thank you so much for being here. And just look forward to seeing how things evolve in your role at Shaping from here.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
This podcast was brought to you by Shaping Portsmouth, working to make Portsmouth the #1 UK city in which to invest, live, learn, work and visit. To find out more, please visit shapingportsmouth.co.uk. This podcast was supported by Spark Community Space and Portsmouth Community Lottery.